On Monday morning of July 6, 2026, the Jackson County Sheriff and coroner both confirmed that the body found matches the description of Nolan Wells.
18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was the kind of kid communities rally behind. A graduate of Ocean Springs High School, a talented wide receiver for Southwest Mississippi Community College, and a young man known for a quick joke and an infectious, bright smile. A photo taken that afternoon captures him and his friends grinning on a boat soaking in the holiday sun. But within hours, that perfect picture would shatter, and the sun-drenched shores of Horn Island would become the backdrop for a nightmare that a community is still trying to piece together. On the 4th of July, Nolan headed out to the island with a group of friends. By all accounts, the afternoon was standard holiday fare. Music blasting from Hull speakers, people wading in the shallow, emerald water, and thousands of teenagers and young adults mingling along the north end of the beach. Horn Island. It's part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore. It is wild, undeveloped, and beautiful. There are no roads, no buildings, and no cell towers, providing reliable signals. You get there by boat, you party on the shore, and when the sun starts to dip below the horizon, you pack up and head back to the mainland.
According to witness accounts, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Nolan was spotted on the sand, casually talking to a girl. He was wearing blue swim trunks, sunglasses, and no shirt. He looked like every other college freshman enjoying his summer break. But as evening approached, the sky began to turn. The boats began to pull their anchors, engines roaring to life as the mass exodus back to Ocean Springs and Biloxi began. When Nolan's friends arrived back on the mainland that evening, their boat docked, but Nolan wasn't on it. Late at night on the 4th of July, the fireworks have stopped, and your 18-year-old son hasn't come home. Nolan's mother, Christine Wansley, took to Facebook in a state of sheer panic, pleading for information. Where was Nolan? Had anyone seen him? Initially, the story from those on the boat was deeply confusing. Local authorities would later state that according to early interviews, Nolan had allegedly chosen to stay behind on the island, under the assumption that he would catch a ride back to the mainland with someone else. But to those who knew Nolan, that explanation felt entirely wrong. Why would an 18-year-old willingly strand himself on a deserted barrier island 10 miles from shore as night fell, with no supplies, no shoes, and no guaranteed ride?
Then, what followed was a massive, desperate, multi-agency race against time. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department, the U.S. Coast Guard, the Department of Marine Resources, and the National Park Service mobilized. Alongside them, the volunteer search and rescue group, the United Cajun Navy, deployed boots on the ground, boats in the water, and drones in the air. For nearly 48 hours, the Mississippi coast held its collective breath. Nolan's family begged the public for any photos or videos taken on the island after 4:30 p.m., desperately trying to map his final movements. Then, on Monday morning at around 8:45 a.m., the search came to a devastating halt. A U.S. park ranger patrolling the remote northwestern tip of Horn Island spotted a body in the water, just offshore. It was Nolan. The Jackson County Sheriff and coroner both confirmed that the body matches the description of Nolan Wells, who went missing on Saturday, July 4th, while visiting Horn Island with a group of friends. The cause of the death is unknown, and the authorities are awaiting the results of the DNA testing and autopsy to prove the cause of death.